Hi, it's Cheryl here. I'm an oil painter, an artist, and an art teacher, and I have a passion for painting lily ponds. Over the last 5 years, I have painted nearly 100 lily pond scenes. Monet, the master of the lily pond, understood that painting water isn't just about reflection, it's about movement, rhythm, and atmosphere. His work wasn't about precise details, but capturing the fleeting, ever-changing dance of light on the water. If you ever wanted to paint lily ponds, I can help you unlock the secrets behind them. I have developed a unique approach, one that focuses on design principles and rather than a step-by-step process. And I'm hoping that this approach is less intimidating for the beginners and more challenging for those of you who are a little bit more advanced. Now, before we dive into the lesson, I'd like to talk to you about materials and that this method will work beautifully across a range of media. Now, that includes the precision of colouring in pencils, the vibrancy of pastels, the richness of oil paints, or the fluidity of acrylics and watercolours. The key is not the materials, but how you approach the design. So today I will be sharing how to plan your painting and using some simple design tools. First of all, I'm going to show you how to access the circle within. And this is a great way that you can access the ball in your shoulder to create wonderful circles, ellipses, S's and C curves. We'll also be discussing the rule of threes, and I'll teach you how to do a tonal map. By the end, you will have a new way of approaching planning a painting, one that I hope is creative, fun, and effective. I want to talk about something that can make a huge difference to your drawing and painting. It is the secret for creating S curves, C curves that bring flow and energy to your art. Most of us were taught how to write by holding our pencil with a tripod grip, and this allowed us to access the small joints in our fingers, which enabled us to be able to write very, very small. If you access the joints here in your wrist, you can actually make larger movements. But what happens when we access the large joint in our shoulder? Now you can unlock just this huge range of motion. Now this allows us to create large, elegant S curves, C curves. Now the cool part is when you access your shoulder joint, you connect yourself to the painting. So it's almost like the rhythm of your body flows into these curves. And this connection is what gives your paintings energy. Now let's take this a little bit further. I forgot to tell you that you need to use an overhand grip, which is like this. And a lot of times I will use my little finger for tracking. What else we can do is actually make almost perfect circles. And so we will stand in front of our board or our canvas, and you can just practice accessing this ball joint. And you can start to ghost a circle shape. And when you're in the mood and you think you've got it down, put the head of your drawing implement down, and most of the time you will make an almost perfect circle. Now when you get the knack of making these circles, you can then change it slightly to make ellipses. So make some of your ellipses, and these ellipses are great for your lily pads. They're also wonderful for reflections, for ripples, and this is what's going to drag your eye, or it'll take your eye through your composition. You've heard that saying that two's company and three's a crowd. Well, not so much in the art world. 3 is the magic number. It is the secret sauce for making your artworks balanced, dynamic, and oh so interesting. Whether it is dividing your composition into threes, or it is creating value map, or creating depth into your painting. The rules of 3 are everywhere. So let me show you why it's not just company, that it's a masterpiece waiting to happen. Let's not forget Mondrian. He rocked the art world just using 3 primary colours, red, yellow and blue. Let's begin creating our lily pond painting. So grab a piece of paper, and you may like to work a lot smaller than me. So what you're doing is a mock-up. So we're going to divide the canvas into 3, and on this painting here you can see the large S's that I have put onto my composition. So this is an easy way to establish some movement within the painting. Now, the sides here and here are going to be darker, just like this one here. They are going to be representing the shadows and the shade. Now, the middle part here is going to be the lightest. Remember how I taught you to draw your ellipses? So we're going to be putting in our ellipses. So when we put them in up here at the background, they are going to be small. Medium here in the middle ground, and they're going to be larger in the foreground. Have a look at how I start my lily pond paintings. You can see the S shape that I have put on in the beginning stages. As you can see in these examples, the S shape creates a beautiful flow of movement, guiding the viewer's eye through the painting. It helps establish structure and gives your composition rhythm and balance. Now that we've set the foundation with our composition, it's time to take it a step further and plan our values. We've created our composition, which is really dynamic, and we've got these beautiful gestural flows of movement which are running through it. Now we need to work out our colour scheme. But before that, we're going to dive into value. So value is the lightness or darkness of a colour. So colour and value go hand in hand. So we're going to spend a bit of time working out where our dark areas are and where our light areas are. So we are creating a value map. I'm going to do one a lot smaller. I always do them about 6 centimetres by about 9. And I like to either use textures. So I go for a black, grey, white becomes the lightest value. Or you can use 6B pencils or any large soft pencils. And these are some examples of some of the value maps that I did to plot what was dark and what was light going forward. Take a little bit of time to get this right. Just feel that you like your design and your composition before we go forward. My go-to palette: titanium white, cad yellow light, cad orange, alizarin crimson, phthalo green, ultramarine blue. Now, to make a dark value, mix together alizarin crimson and your phthalo green. If you'd like to make burnt sienna, add in your cad orange. This is a great way to expand this palette. I prefer to use odorless Gamasol as thinners in the art room. and I'm preparing here to do a pick out. I've coated my canvas with burnt sienna. So I want the burnt sienna to be my mid-tone. I'm going to pick out the light values and I will add in the dark values, and I will use a rag which is soaked in thinners or the Gamsol. Let's recap on what this video was about. We went through the concept of the circle within, how you can access your shoulder to create beautiful compositions with rhythm and movement. We went on to making a tonal map. We talked about why threes are much more interesting. Did a quick demo with oil paint to show you how to do a pick out and about my process of creating a lily pond painting. If you've reached this stage, then you might want some final touches to add to your painting, and I have created a 4-page PDF with some pics of water lilies, fish and dragonflies that you can download. Just go down to the comments. With this artwork here, I have added some cerulean blue, which is a reflection from the sky directly above into the water. I use ultramarine blue here for the shadows, as well as alizarin crimson, burnt umber, warm colours for shadows. Cools are for the highlights of where the sun is coming through the trees, or it's coming through here and it's reflecting onto the water pads. If you would like to work with me, I have full-day workshops on a Saturday where I teach beginner oils as well as how to paint a lily pond. And Monday mornings, 2 a month, I have classes here in my studio at North of Oka. I would love to hear how you went with your work, so let me know in the comments if you found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like more painting tutorials. Happy painting!